How are you today? I'm doing super well. Happy to be back. Happy Monday. And I am ready to get into it. This topic has been something that's been on my mind for a while now, right? When love says no. Because as I've been going through all of this and I've lifted myself up into joy and understanding that the next destination is love, right? Because the purpose of joy is to light ourselves up, right? You got to put your own mask on first before you can help another. What we have to give. But until you've reached that level of joy and contentment and lost, the access to complaint and fear, until you've done that for yourself, you don't have it to give to others, do you? Right? But on this journey, on my way from joy to love, it's really interesting in that the mind, in a more evolved space, does not lose access to yes or no, right? And so it was a little bit confusing to me because I'm trying to chug along in this new, more evolved way and understand, yet at the same time I'm going, why is this feeling weird? Why is it feeling weird? Why is me trying to, create change for us in this world feeling weird from this place? I sometimes feel like a little bit of a three-legged horse running, right? Because it's not quite normal yet. It's still awkward and it feels odd. Why? What's feeling odd about that? What I've eventually come to is that you have basically an opportunity to respond to anything that's happening in the world from one of four places, right? You can let the ego say yes or no, or you can let love say yes or no. And that's the part that we don't have good examples for, right? We haven't quite learned as a society how to say no from a place of love, right? And anyone who's been a parent, even for a little bit, knows that that is very possible. That loving someone doesn't deny you access to know. And so I was having to kind of go through and parse out my direction and what I was trying to take on and what I was trying to change in this world from a place of love, and yet feeling inside of myself that I was creating negativity. And so I had to stop and look at that, because I'm not creating negativity, I'm creating direction and movement forward from a place of love that still has access to, oh, hell no, that you are not, no, absolutely not, right? Love still has access to that expression. It's just we're not used to seeing it modeled, right? And that's part of what I hope to change, right? Because if we're going to live in a more evolved place, we still have to have access within ourselves to both yes and no, right? So I had to get clear in my own mind that when I'm saying, okay, we need to do better here, this needs to change, blah, 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 I'm not being negative. I'm being loving and still using my access to the word no, right? And so that's something that in my own personal evolution, I've had to really take a look at, right? And then love said no. And then love said, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Will this be going on my watch? Will kids be shot up in their classrooms on my watch? Hell no. Hell no. Enough. And then love said no. No. No more. So in us becoming the change that we want to see in the world, right? And by the way, I went and saw Jurassic Park yesterday and it was so fun. In the movie, they actually say the only way that we're going to save ourselves as a species on planet Earth is to evolve consciously. They actually said that in the movie, and I was like, yes, people are paying attention. People are understanding that this egoic fight where there's a left and a right and a good and a bad, right? Like, that gets us nowhere. It's just more of the same, and nothing's resolved and nothing moves forward, right? So we got to shed that in order to create a new measuring stick, right, in which to evaluate things on as a country. Imagine for a second an America without the need to use money. Imagine. Or at least a place where there's an opportunity to opt out of the money society, right? If you want to buy, some acreage like we have here and just go and check out and not do money and taxes, there should be a box for that, right? I'm sorry, but I don't understand why we're all being forced into this imaginary process of money. It makes no sense to me, right? And so, I want to keep, moving us forward in a direction where we have a government that cares for us instead of the other way around. Because what we got set up right now is really punitive, isn't it? Not everyone has the same opportunities, right? I myself, going through this process of becoming a more slightly handicapped individual in America, is truly, truly, truly teaching me some things. And this is one of them. Not everybody has the same opportunity to make money, to access money. So why is that our only choice? There has to be a way for us to opt out of that, right? And whether it's just because you don't care to, right? And there should be a box that you check and you're like, yep, I'm off grid. Send me $2,000 a month and we're done. We're good. Right? Why isn't that an option? For artists, right? To be able to go and explore their craft. For people who are like me, who, struggle to make, money and have a regular job because their body or whatever just can't do it. Right? Why is it so punitive for people like that? We have to have the option to opt out of finance and money. To just live on your property and be sent cash every month needs to be an option for some people. And I don't care about checks and balances. Sorry, but I don't. If someone else is getting a free ride, good for them. That should be their choice in America. If this truly is the land of the free, right? We should be creating free minds, artistic expression, right? Everything that you need in order to support yourself on a minimum wage kind of balance. My books go into this. My books seek to take it all down. My books seem to want to create a movement, and I'm hoping that this will get us there so that we can start to develop a plan B, right? And I have found a really clear path forward on that. And so I hope that you will be on this journey as we, take down America. Just kidding. America is wonderful in certain aspects. It is also very punitive in others. We need to do better. We need to do a lot better, right? And opting out of money and the constant scavenger hunt for money and all of us being stressed about money, right? It's just gotta stop. Stop. Just enough. Enough. We don't have to have that as the only option for people. Right? And sure, I qualify for disability. I could go and it's a 2-year process to get, approved for disability and then I could be done. But why? Why? And why isn't it an option that I can just opt out of money for my artistic pursuits, my spiritual pursuits, right? Where is the government in supporting us in these efforts, right? That's their job. Support us, not us support them, right? And whatever you got to do in order to make that work, I'm sure we're smart. We can figure it out, right? Just a 10% tax on companies. That's it, across the board. And then let it all just figure itself out. Like, it doesn't have to be this complicated with a tax code that nobody can understand and that is completely overwhelming, and the whole thing is like scary and punitive, and nobody's here helping us as average citizens. Now, mind you, I come to this from Canada, a socialist country that has more options along these lines. And yeah, they have a much higher tax rate, but you get, medical taken care of for life. And you just have to carry a card with your number on it. That's it. My sister pays $35 a month in health insurance. And that's for like the premium plan. That includes her daughter, $35 a month. John and I pay over $1,800 a month because of our pre-existing conditions and everything else that we have going on. Someone want to tell me that's not punitive? So we got to find a better way. And then Love said no. Nuh-uh. We can be doing a whole lot better on our say-so, right? And it's just by paying a little more attention and electing people who are in alignment with love, who are creating the most amount of love for its citizens. So along those lines, right, we know what the end goal is at this point. Just, resonate with pure love and joy, like 24/7. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. But, it's simple in its, explanation, but not easy in the process to get there, right? But that really is. And the more that I chase this, the more I am blown away by the fact that there's only one answer. And the answer is, don't do things that are causing you pain. Right? And the ego will continually cause you pain. All the time, right? Because it's either good or bad or right and wrong. And how often is that bad or wrong reflected back at you? A lot. But when those slip away, right? When you're no longer in the ego at all, right? And thoughts become boring, and all you want to do 24/7 is resonate with what is, to exchange energy with your surroundings and dial into what is. Oh, it's just such a beautiful place to be. And it's like you just completely open up to the present moment and everything else falls away, right? So how does this all relate to my kind of charge with the faith communities, right? Because that's clearly my mountain to climb, right? And it always will be because that's where most of my damage is, right? So let's use that as an example of how we can say yes and no from either the ego or from love, right? If I was to say stand against the faith communities, like I've often done in here, when I'm standing against them, where am I functioning from? Right? The ego. But if I'm working for them, for their benefit, for their evolution, right? I can use very similar words, but I'm functioning from a very different place, am I not? When you function from the lens of love instead of the ego, the biggest change will be, at least for me, is that I lift everybody else up. I lift everybody up. Everyone in the room, including me. Because when I'm functioning from up here, and I'm saying yes and no from the ego, I am often left feeling bad, right? And that's one of the beautiful things about like increasing your level of consciousness to your heart consciousness, because when you are feeling things, you recognize that those are feelings that you're putting within yourself, right? And I'm in charge of that. And so when I'm functioning from the ego and I'm like swearing and cussing at people and like dealing in my own not only righteousness, but justified anger, when I'm functioning from that place, it doesn't feel real good inside. Why? I mean, look at my energy. I'm angry, I'm upset, they're doing it wrong, right? It's the whole drive of the ego to monopolize, dominate, punish, see as wrong, right? Am I having fun when I'm in that energy band? Well, sometimes I am. Because it can be very egoically satisfying, right? To function from that place and to get back at them, right? That's why we hit people. Right? You got to get back at them. You're just in that energy band, right? And look what that's doing and what's inhabiting in me when I'm in that place. Am I having fun? Am I resonating with love? No. And that's a choice, right? So how do I say no to the Christians? No, you may not have openly homophobic passages in your literature. How do I address that with that group from a place of love? And that love says no. It's so tricky, right? But that's my mountain to climb. I need to discover that. I need to elevate. Oh, and this is what I'm discovering in my books. And again, this process for me is so transformative because I get the opportunity to play with concepts and ideas on the page before in real life. Right? How does that work within the actual world? And then love said no. And then love said, Christian brothers and sisters, we need to be doing a whole lot better. A whole lot better. Will you come with me? Will you join and evolve and do better and do research into those homophobic passages and see if we can't do better for all of our community, for everyone involved, to end this toxic heteronormativity that faith communities have going on, where queer expression of yourself is seen as a moral failing. When bigotry is being offered as morality, that is the hallmark of, hate and bigoted institutions. Watch for that. Watch for that. Christian brothers and sisters, we are all on the same mountain, heading in the same direction, and we need your help. I don't want to fight against you. I want to work with you for creating a more loving America, right? And that's on me. And so I can evolve the fight or continue the fight. It's going to be up to us. But as shown in Jurassic Park, it's go time. More and more people are recognizing that us evolving as humans in our consciousness is going to be the only thing that saves us at this point, right? Because it's getting to be crunch time as far as how much our planet can withstand before it decides to just wipe us all out. Like it's done several times already. That's an option for it, right? So I want to work with anybody who will work with me in the direction of love. That's the only thing. That's the only thing, right? That's the only thing we have to focus on, is who's going to work together in the direction of love and create a normal space where things are adjudicated and evaluated by whether it's loving, not by whether it's good and bad or right or wrong. We gotta get out of that ego stuff. We just have to abandon it. It is the only way forward. Because I see the goal. The goal is love. The goal is to have all of us resonating with and vibrating with pure love that cares for your fellow humans, whether you understand them or not. Right? So that's where we're going. And I'm excited about it. And yeah, there's gonna be some new road to travel to better understand how no can be said from a place of love. That's where we are today. I hope you're doing great. I will talk to you on Wednesday. Bye.